I know this video may not favor African leadership or African government or people in charge of government in South Africa. What if lying to get elected could cost you your job? As we all know, being elected in Africa, or like I mean, say democratic nations, has become a norm that it should not be determined, or it should not be called off. Also, one country just said, let just said something. Let's find out. And trust me, if this law exists here in Africa, no matter the nation you are talking about in Africa, it will be very good. Half half of our political class will be unemployed by Friday. The coming Friday, obviously. Wales, yes, a small country near England, is on track to become the first country in the world to doing what elections campaign. Not just shame them, because they can say shame that it doesn't make sense at times. But we are talking about suspension, forced retraction, and even removal from office. Today I'm breaking down this real. What is exaggerated, but most importantly, it means if you try this in Africa, what it will mean if it is done in Africa. Why is it necessary in Africa? I know that shouldn't be a question I should be asking. But we should be asking, who can implement that law in Africa? Yes. Political lying in Africa isn't just a scandal. It is promises that decide whether the people eat, work, or hope. Am I lying? If I'm lying, then drop the comment. Then let's debate. I will prove evidence. Right now, the punishment for a broken promise falling on citizens never the liars. If the promise and it fails, we the ordinary people are going to perish. Yes, because we are the vulnerable ones. We'll flip that around. Instead of punishing the ordinary people for fake promises, now the people that promise will be punished because of their fake promises. Let me bring our case studies. Quick, Sierra Leone, a promise sweeping President Bio promised a sweeping crackdown on graft in 2018. Ali arrest look real, but years later, senior officers of unprosecuted the Auditor Generals who raised red flags for dismissal instead of what protected. Politicians were held, ministers, other people were held accountable, but as time goes by, what happened, what didn't happen, we don't know. But that shouldn't have been happening. In 2021, when Larate Opias tried to report based on the audit report that he had, the day before the report should have happened, our deal was terminated. There's something fishy coming, and that must have happened. And the ACC accused of hitting the opposition flag bearers while spearing the ruling party in Sierra Leone. They are accused because they thought it's a witch hunt. That's what they said. Okay, now let's leave Sierra. Let's go to Nigeria. Buhari in 2015 on anti-corruption in 2015. Anti-corruption go, instead of hitting, promised to reduce the level of corruption. Instead, it grows. His 3 million jobs in a year pleaded, it flopped. They are just lying. Or bring jobs, this and that. But those are just fake and then unprecedented lies that are just had. Let's leave Nigeria, let's to South Africa now. South Africa, Ramaphosa, in 2019 renewal pledge hasn't just stopped corruption from worsening. The ANC has was forced 32 major scandals, first in 2021. If this law is implemented, to be very honest, it will save Africans. And if it's implemented in Africa, let's proceed to Zimbabwe. Maganawa reform promise produced little. His government is accused of dysfunction and corruption. Imagine being in governance without just serving people, you're just trying to impress or satisfy yourself. It's detrimental. Let's face reality. Let's come down to Senegal. SAL promised to cut goods prices by 50%. But those are all just words they say without the intentionality of what implementing them. The system-wide costs. These undelivered promises have cost Africans tens of billions of yearly losses. With all these plans, had it been they were implemented, trust me, corruption across Africa should have just got to let me say not 0 to 10 or 15%. The money that should have been used for healthcare, education, infrastructure, they are used for personal growth and personal interest. Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Sierra Leone all built anti-corruption agencies that underperform. They all have anti-corruption offices, yes, which is factual. But what are these anti-corruption offices doing to suit the ordinary man's needs, to meet the supposed needs of a nation? Nothing much to say. Yes, mainly because they answered to the same politicians strategy. The politicians are electing them to be in office. Imagine me electing you. If you misbehave towards me, I will just terminate your contract. That's what is keeping them on a low key, and they cannot even say what is supposed to be said because they are held like a refuge coming for rescue. They answer to the same politician they are meant to police. They are supposed to audit them, chase them, chastise them for them to do the supporting things, but rather what they are answering to them. The Sierra Leone's ACC head can be fired by the president at will. If the president wills to terminate his contract, he can just be fired overnight or during the morning. I just say this also anti-corruption boss is no longer in charge. The pattern: leaders vow to fight corruption at the podiums when they want political positions. Then the promises become rhetoric. Sometimes the leaders themselves get implicated. Sierra Leone showed the sharpest, and even the journalist who once backed Bio found his government went further then and won its replace. Caveat for the balance. West Africans has already started the Open Society Promise track in 2012, but it has not reflected in the reality of West Africans. Monitoring campaign vows and publicly, citizens want accountability. What is missing is legal teeth, which is exactly what Wales is testing. The legal teeth is supposed to be there to ensure that what is intended or what is being promised during the campaigns are done. But who can then be in charge? The Auditor General is not. It can be terminated by at any time, can be suspended at any time, and the corruption can be sacked at any time. In Sierra Leone specifically, and all other nations, the laws are not meant to favor the ordinary. The wealthy or the politicians, but rather the poor ones are supposed to go under the consequence of the political lands.